Let your elbows move with the canter. That's right. Now go to your poles. Keep those elbows moving. Circle. See, it depends on you too much. You keep the whole thing rocking and rolling at the canter, huh, Harry? Let your elbows move. Don't make those reins any tighter. There you go. Canter. Yeah, remember what we've been talking about lately. He has to do the right thing, not the easy thing. Soften. There you go. One more time. One more time. Keep those elbows moving, 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 moving. There you go. Moving. That's right. One more. I said, how many one mores are we going to do? Keep those elbows moving. Okay, let's walk. Now, whenever you watch the video, okay, keep an eye on the elbows and keep an eye on your lower back. All right, like right now, look how much your midsection moves walking. And watch how little your midsection moves when you canter. Okay, you're holding yourself too tight. There's too much. Your muscle tone is too tense. I want you to relax and go with it more, okay? All right, we're going to do the same thing going left. So think about how relaxed your midsection and your lower back is right now. All right, try to keep that same kind of muscle tone. There you go. That's right. That's right. Don't dread it. Don't dread it. Just let him do it. Muscle tone, relax. There you go. Let him do it. Let him work it out. Atta girl, one more. See, he can do it. There. There you go. Have a trot. Very good. And walk.
It takes a lot to let it go.
It does take a lot to let it go. And a lot of that, if you watch both directions on the video, watch the right. You're really stiff in your body. That really inhibits the canter. Going that way, I thought that was a much nicer canter, just because you're relaxing and going with it. Remember, whenever you start out and he dropped to the trot, and I said he's too used to you helping him, your body's tense because you're trying to hold the canter together,
Right.
okay? But you shouldn't have to do that. And frankly, holding it with that kind of tension in your lower back and your seat isn't correct anyway. So you want to relax and follow it more like that, okay? And then let him do his job. Like right there on that last one, he was a little long to that first pole. But if you give your horse a chance to learn, he learns he can't go running through there. All right, he might learn that he can trot, you know, sneak in a little trot step there, and then you come out, and then you just give him a little tap and say, now, well, you need to repeat this. And whenever he goes through well and he does the footwork well, then it's going to be good. And whenever he comes in, the better he keeps his balance whenever he does these things, the better off or the better the results will be. All right? So they come in, and if they're on stride, it's easier for them to keep their balance as they negotiate the jump or the pulls on the ground or whatever it is. The moment it's off stride, it's a little more challenging to them from a standpoint of doing the footwork and keeping their balance while they do that. And so they need to practice it. You know, you don't want to get him there perfect every time. Let him go up there, let him make his mistakes, let him learn how to keep his balance while he does the footwork and while he adjusts his stride. All right. So I like that phrase for you. Keep your muscle tone relaxed. There you go. Let Harry do the footwork. It's a little different whenever it's a straight line as opposed to a bending line. Let him work it out. See, he made a huge mistake, but he fixed it, didn't he? He stood off of the cross rail, but he still made it work. If those two blue and white poles were jumped, he would have been fine. Relaxed muscle tone. There you go. Let him do the footwork. That is wonderful. That's perfect. Walk and pat him. He fixed that nicely. Go. Let's come one more time. Stay with it. Very. Again. One more time. Good job. Very nice. Left lead. There, you're making it look too easy. Very good. Walk and pat him. Remember that canter, you want that all the way to the red and white. That's okay. He'll start to fix it now. Very good. Now the purple. That's right. Over that red and white. Okay. It wasn't huge, but the first trip through over the red and white, he speeds up and lengthens enough that the long spot is a cheat, and therefore he'll keep looking for it because it's easy. Okay. The next time, it's work because he doesn't speed up, and so he has to use more pushing power because basically he just made the oxer wider. And he has to use more pushing power because he didn't lengthen or accelerate. And if you ride it like that, he will move that distance up because there's no cheat and it makes it hard. Okay? So if he can lengthen and speed up, he'll always look for that long spot because it's easy. But the minute you take that away and say, no, if you stand off, you're going to have to jump from this pace. He's like, then I will get closer. Okay? Because then getting closer sort of becomes the cheat. Or the best thing to do. Okay? And then you caught him because he was going to do the same thing at that purple, wasn't
he? Well, actually, he latched on to
that
one. And I was like, oh, no, not that one.
You think he was going through the grid backwards again?
I guess. I don't know. But he did. He really was like, that one? And I'm like, no.
Okay. Now here's where the exercise gets really interesting. That was wonderful. Fine option. Okay. Great ride through the grid. Really wonderful ride to the red and white. If you watch your elbows and stuff coming up to the red and white, I thought it was really, really good. Whenever you came around here to the two stride, you and him now have a lot more. You don't have to hold him off of the jump so much, and you don't have to hold him back. Okay. You say, I like this canter, and this is the canter that you should do the footwork and get these jumps taken care of for me. And he does it. I thought the two stride was really good, and I thought your half halting and coming up to the purple and white, again, you didn't let your muscle tone change so much. And so I thought it was very, very good. And then the only reason that you couldn't come to the poles right away is because of the lead. You circled, you came around. Once the lead change was done, the canter was kind of there. And I was very glad to see that after all of this, he picked himself up and went through those poles. He didn't get sloppy. All right, it was really nice. And then the outside line was perfect. That was really, really good. And so I want you to think a lot about that, not only in your flat work, but in your jumping, okay? Watch the muscle tone, all right? It becomes too tense, okay? And we should put elbows in that category because stiff elbows means stiff muscles, okay? And I really thought that there was a lot of nice, relaxed following riding going on there
that
tonight.
That was what I couldn't do last night for whatever reason.
Well, you know, the thing about something, whenever it starts to go bad, we start to try to muscle it around. And as soon as we start getting stronger in that negative way, that we just can't seem to help trying once in a while, you know, like we're convinced somewhere in the back of our mind that it's going to work somehow, some way, you know, and so we keep on trying it. So if you find yourself in that situation, like you were talking about earlier with your canter yesterday, you know, just say, all right, I got to stop. And so throw your reins loose and get your canter going and just like start following it. And, you know, I thought it was good for you whenever you were walking and Cindy was filming you, and I said, look how much your midsection moves, okay? That's how much your midsection and your seat and hips should move whenever you canter. Probably more, okay? And so I think that that was good. And if you get stuck, you know, pitch your reins loose and just relax and start following, and then pick the reins up. And whenever you pick the reins up, you have to make sure that your elbows aren't stiff. Okay? Muscle tone. And whenever you half halt, think about it as being change of position. You should certainly squeeze with your thigh some because you have to support your upper body. But you should think about a half halt as more of a change of position to notify your horse that the canter needs to change. Okay? And don't become overly tense. I think that's a big mistake that people make whenever they half halt. Okay? And so work on that, and then I think it's going to be good. I loved Harry's decision making tonight too. Like, I don't think that he made a couple of mistakes coming in, like to the grid where he was a smidge long, but he never made a mistake. He didn't let that compound things.
Right.
You know, he didn't run, he didn't lose his balance, he didn't fumble. You know, he was just like, because he's supposed to make the best decision. So sometimes, like, I think it was the last time you went into the grid, he was just a pinch long. But I thought that was a good decision because that was the thing he should have done. And so he did, and then he kept his balance and he went through beautifully. He should be done because I think that was a lot. Good job.